Good day, everyone, and God bless you all for joining. First, I want to tell you where the gospel can be found, which is 1 Corinthians 15, verses 1 to 4. The ABCs of salvation: hey, admit you're a sinner; B, believe Jesus is Lord; and C, call upon his name, can be all found in the book of Romans. I have some updates here for you guys. One which is wonderful and amazing, and that's the U.S. Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe versus Wade decision. According to an initial draft written by the Justice Samuel Alito, circulated inside the court and was obtained by Politico. In the 1973 decision, which guaranteed federal constitutional protections of the abortion rights, and the subsequent 1992 decision, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, that largely maintained the right, Roe was wrong from the start, Alito writes. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. He writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elect representatives. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, Alito said in the document. That's wonderful news. We need those abortions to stop. We need to save the children. We have some major fires going on too, guys. Hundreds of households in the historic New Mexico city of Las Vegas were told to evacuate as the fierce winds and drought pushed the largest active wildfires in the United States closer to the towns. We will be seeing a lot of wildfires taking place this summer. According to some reports that's out there, we are expected to have high temperatures, a lot of warm weather and winds that will be spreading wildfires like crazy. So, yeah, we may need to be aware in your area of that and maybe make some preparations on like a safe way to get out of town or whichever if you need. And guys, if something like that happens, don't wait around too long and get caught up in it. It's dangerous. Anyway, Russia's foreign minister accused Israel of supporting neo-Nazis in Ukraine, further escalating a row which began when Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov claimed Adolf Hitler had Jewish heritage. Guys, you will see everything coming up now to start conflict in the Middle East. They are literally picking fights. I mean, this was something that was horrible, of course, with Hitler and that many years ago and should never have happened. But the truth is it did happen. But to keep bringing this up and try to pick fights over it, I mean, is absolutely useless. But I'm sure they'll figure out a way to create a conflict and create war over something that's so far in the past now that needs to be left in the past. I understand what had happened was horrible and should be told, yes, in history books and things like that, because if we, apparently they say, if we are aware of the past, we are less likely to repeat it in the future. But I mean, so many things are happening right now that it makes you wonder, does it even matter? Because, well, for one, they're taking history books and everything out of the schools that has these things in it anyway. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot to be looked at there. But anyway, that's where we stand right now. Literally picking fights over any little thing that they can come up with. So, India's western state has registered 25 deaths from heat stroke. Since late March, the highest toll in the past 5 years, with more fatalities likely elsewhere in the country. Sweltering in temperatures of over 50 40 degrees Celsius. The sun just keeps erupting, guys, over and over, and this is sending huge CMEs to the earth, and it's no surprise that there will be you know, repercussions from things like this. But regarding this, in the near future, there will be a lot more of these things happening because, according to experts, the temperatures are going to be absolutely crazy, especially this summer. We're supposed to reach record high temperatures, and we're going to see a lot more of these things happening. But guys, in Luke 21, Jesus tells us that there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity. The seas and waves will be roaring. So we are to expect things to come from the sun, and it's going to cause havoc here on earth. And yes, you're going to see more deaths and more things, natural disasters and things like that happen because of it. So we are warned about it. It's biblical. A Christian group based in the UK said it's very sad to learn that a majority of the Presbyterians of the Church of Scotland have supported the proposed approval of same-sex weddings in its churches. Ahead of the upcoming General Assembly, it is a very sad development, said the Christian institution. After 29 of its 41 Presbyterians said they would support the change at their denominations. The denomination has in its constitution a commitment to the Bible as a Supreme Court authority in all matters of faith and practice, commented the Christian Institution Scotland officer Nigel Kinney. The Bible is crystal clear that God-honoring marriages is only between one man and one woman. Jesus' own teachings on this in Matthew 19 could not be clearer, but it seems that the majority of the Presbyterians are more interested in taking their cue from culture rather than Christ. So people, Jesus did say in Luke 18, I tell you, you will see that they get justice and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Will there be any faith left when Jesus returns? Guys, organic and free-range chickens have been thrown into lockdown according to a new report. Egg-laying hens that normally have access to the outdoors can no longer roam free and feel the sun on their beaks as some U.S. and European farmers temporarily keep flocks inside during the lethal outbreak of the bird flu. According to egg producers and industry representatives, the switch comes as a surprise to shoppers already shelling out more money for eggs due to the infected flocks. Consumers pay extra for specialty eggs, thinking they come from hens that can venture out of barns. U.S. watchdogs say retailers and egg companies must do a better job informing customers that hens are kept inside. As shoppers track their spending amid record global food inflation, keeping birds inside is safer for now, according to the government officials, because a single case of bird flu results in an entire flock being killed. Now, inflation, well, we know inflation is out there anyway, and food shortages is coming, and it's a manufactured food shortage, guys. This is done on purposely, but they are creating things like the bird flus and stuff like that, which have always been really around, but they're now trying to blow it up and make it like this big, huge thing so that they have an answer for food shortages and prices of products and that going up. So now it's a manufactured famine. But in Luke 21, it tells us there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines and pestilence, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from the heaven. So, yes, there will be famines and there will be pestilence, and there's nothing really we're going to do about that. We can't change prophecy, it's in the Bible. But, folks, expect those things to happen. And as I said before, famines is coming. Famines is practically here. It's just in some places you don't see it yet, but they say around the 1st of June you will things will amp up pretty quickly. And you guys, you need to prepare. Some non-perishable food items and that, some canned goods. And again, it's not even, people say, well, why rush out and get that, and things like that may not happen. The thing is that we should have these things and have these preparations done anyway, because there's storms that can happen, or anything really that can cause disruption in the food chain. So we should always be prepared for these things. So only 6% of adults in the United Kingdom identify as practicing Christians, while 42% say they are non-practicing Christians. And 1 in 3 non-Christians say that they want to know more about Jesus Christ, according to the findings of a recent survey called Talking Jesus. The survey of more than 3,000 UK adults commissioned by 5 Christian organizations also found that 4% of its people identify as agnostics and 12% as atheists. In 2015, 68% of non-Christians in the UK said they knew someone who was an active or practicing Christian, but now in 2022, that has fallen to 53%. So, the faith, the Christian faith, we know is decreasing. We are looking for a great revival around the world as well. But yes, with everything that's going on in society today, and they're suppressing the Word of God anyway. And it does tell us in the Bible that there will be a day that comes where there will be famine in the land, but not for food, but for the Word of God. So it is coming. All right, guys, Canadian provinces. Now, we told about digital ID, many people, and we were told it was conspiracy theories, but Canadian provinces are torn on implementing digital IDs. Alberta and Ontario have already begun the process, while Saskatchewan has recently scrapped its plans. However, the Treasury Board of Canada and the Digital Identification of Authentication Council of Canada seems determined to forge ahead regardless of how the citizens feel about their plans. They, of course, use the sales pitch of convenience, and they convince you that it's better for you, of course, and more convenient for you, and better in the long run, and it'll help you this way and that way. So they do have a sales pitch for it. They will convince the public to relinquish the freedoms. In February, Trudeau revoked his self-granted powers in the response to the trucker convoy. He did the Emergency Act, as many of us know. But last week indicated he may invoke the Emergency Act again in the future. He said, "We want the people to rest assured that we made the right decision in the right way, not just in this situation, but also for the ones in the years to come, whereas the Emergency Act could be used again." Not surprised one bit. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney's decision to pursue the implementation of digital ID is curious, and he infamously called out the World Economic Forum, its founder Klaus Schwab, and the Great Reset agenda in late 2020, saying it's not a conspiracy theory and that the people have the right to be concerned. His statement now sounds highly ironic, as the paramount to Klaus Schwab's Great Reset agenda is linking humanity to digital ID, central banks' digital currency, and shoehorning in a Chinese-style social credit score for the Western world to lay the groundwork for the fourth industrial revolution. Sid and Diana, the hosts of the breakfast television, raised the alarm about Ontario's digital ID in March 2022. Citizens of Ontario will be issued a government digital ID that will give them access to a slew of amenities like banking, making medical appointments, and even obtaining a marriage license. And all this personal and private information will sit comfortably on your mobile device. So people, the digital ID is no longer a conspiracy theory like many believed, although many like myself tried to warn others what was coming. And we've been warning them for at least about 2 years, but of course was mocked and called a conspiracy theorist. It is now made public, but what is sad about all this is even though that it is made public, many people are still denying the fact that it is true. The government has come out with it, and people are still saying, "Ah, that's just a conspiracy theory." Like, if you are one of those that is doing that, I mean, you really need to reevaluate your thoughts and yourself and your faith, even, because this is going to happen, and it does tell us in the Bible as well that knowledge and things like this. Digital IDs and stuff like that, the technology will increase. So in the days that Jesus will return. So this is coming. Regardless if you like it, people, believe it or not, it's coming fast, and it's coming to a town near you. So anyway, guys, these are some updates that I have for you today. I will be back. This will be it for this video, but I will be back with more as it comes in. Again, it's coming in so fast, it is just, you just can't keep up with it. So I try to pick some of the things that I think that you guys should be aware of now, right away, and do the video on those first. So like we always say, guys, see you here or in the air. God bless.